Imagine if in one day the water in your house goes off. It all starts here. The next morning, you wake up as usual. You walk to the bathroom. Turn on the faucet. And not a drop of water comes out. At first, it might not seem like you think the water will come back on in a few minutes. But an hour passes. 2 hours pass. Still no water. You can't shower. You can't wash clothes. You can't cook. You can't clean the house. And before you know it, millions of others are experiencing the same thing. Hospitals are struggling to operate. Restaurants are stopping serving customers. Factories are shutting down. In less than a day, a city can come to a standstill. Because of one thing we often take for granted: clean water. We use it every day. But almost no one ever asks where that water actually comes from. How does it get to our homes? How does water that originates from murky rivers become clean, safe water? And why does this system have to work non-stop, 24 hours a day? This is the long journey of clean water. One of the most important systems working silently behind the scenes of modern life. It all starts far from your home. Far from the city. Far from the crowds. In places you might never see. Rivers. Reservoirs. Lakes. Mountain springs. These sources are the beginning of the journey of billions of liters of water every day. But there's one big problem. Water found in nature isn't immediately usable. River water carries mud, sand, leaves, bacteria, microorganisms, even various pollutants invisible to the human eye. If this water were directly piped into your home, the impacts could be very dangerous. Therefore, the water must undergo a long process before it finally reaches your tap. The next step takes the water to a facility called a water treatment plant. This is the heart of the clean water supply system. Every day, millions of liters of raw water enter this plant. The first process is initial filtration. Large objects such as twigs, trash, leaves, and various other materials are separated from the water flow. After that, the water enters the next stage. This stage seems simple but is very important. Coagulation. In this process, certain substances are added to the water. The goal is to collect small particles that were previously free-floating. Particles that are too small to be filtered normally. These particles gradually begin to stick together, forming larger clumps. This process is known as flocculation. Once these clumps form, the water enters a settling pond. This is where gravity takes over. Heavier clumps will sink to the bottom. Meanwhile, the clearer water moves on to the next stage. But the journey isn't over yet. The water still has to pass through layers of special filters. Sand, gravel, activated carbon, and various other filtration media. Each layer has a different task. Some filter fine particles. Some reduce odors. Some help improve overall water quality. After passing through various stages of filtration, the water looks much cleaner. But there are still unseen threats. Microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, and various other microscopic organisms. That's why a disinfection process is carried out. At this stage, the water is specially treated to kill harmful organisms. The end result is water that is safe for distribution to the public. But cleaning the water is only half the journey. The next challenge is much greater. How do you get that water to millions of homes? Imagine a large city. Millions of people. Tall buildings. Office buildings. Hospitals. Schools. Shopping malls. Everyone needs water every day. To meet that need, a massive distribution network is required. Thousands of kilometers of pipes are hidden beneath roads and buildings. These pipes are the main pathways for water. If the entire network of pipes were arranged in a straight line, it could stretch for hundreds or even thousands of kilometers. But delivering water isn't just about putting it through pipes. The water must have sufficient pressure. Without pressure, water won't be able to reach distant homes, especially high-rise buildings. This is where pumps come in. Giant pumps work day and night. They push water through a very complex distribution network. Some cities also use reservoirs. These are large storage tanks that serve as backups. Reservoirs help maintain a stable water supply when demand suddenly increases. For example, in the morning, when millions of people turn on their taps simultaneously, or at night when many household activities are taking place. Without a reservoir and a proper pressure regulation system, water supply can be disrupted. But the job isn't done yet. Because modern water distribution systems don't just rely on pipes and pumps. Behind the scenes, there's a control center that monitors the entire network. Operators monitor pressure, flow, water quality, and the real-time state of the system. If a leak occurs, they must act quickly. Because even a small leak can result in the loss of thousands of liters of water every day. And speaking of leaks, this is one of the biggest challenges facing many cities around the world. Some treated water never even reaches customers' homes. This water is lost due to aging pipes, network damage, or undetected leaks. That's why system maintenance is a never-ending task. The technical team must be ready at all times, day or night. Because when one part of the system fails, the impact can be felt by thousands of people at once. Now imagine again. What would happen if this system were to stop for a day? Taps stop flowing. Hospitals struggle to maintain cleanliness. Restaurants cannot operate. Schools are disrupted. Factories lose production. Modern cities, once seemingly robust, are actually heavily reliant on one thing often taken for granted: clean water. And ironically, precisely because this system works so well, we hardly ever notice its existence. We simply turn on the tap, and the water flows, without ever thinking about the long journey it has traveled. From the river to the treatment plant, through various stages of filtration, entering the reservoir, propelled by giant pumps, flowing through a long network of pipes, until finally, it reaches our homes. Every drop of water that flows from the tap is the result of the work of thousands of people. Engineers, operators, technicians, and an infrastructure system that works non-stop, 24 hours a day. So the next time you turn on the faucet and the water flows freely, remember one thing: that water doesn't just appear. there's a long journey behind it. A journey rarely seen, rarely discussed. But it's one of the most important foundations of modern life. And without it, the world as we know it would never be the same. If you enjoy videos like this and want to learn more about how other major systems work behind the scenes in everyday life, be sure to subscribe to Profit Engine. Because there are many more secrets of industry, business, and infrastructure that we'll uncover together in future videos.